All right, come on. Let's sit down and knock this out. Let's get it. Turn your TV up.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Boy, you know you done broke this remote. All right, come on. Let's get it. Hey, Luigi. Don't make me knock you out. You dig? Come on. Come sit on the floor. Ah. Nope, we on the floor.
I want you.
Luna, you coming too?
Daddy coming.
So what are we reading today? It's called Avengers Endgame.
Hi, Dad. Why are we down the beach?
So, Grandma bought this book. Say thank you, Grandma.
Daddy, Grandma. Wait, Daddy.
She could have wrote two.
Yeah.
If she was being considerate and looked in the book, she could have wrote two. The Rob's game from her.
Mommy.
Hey, she trying to show them she can walk, and you just took out her glove. But turn the page. Turn the
I
page.
just said yesterday we was gonna
Oh,
read
then
that
it's
book
on
when
the
she get
page.
there, and now you.
That's the minute on the page.
No, it'll be
That's the
alright.
minute on the page.
We can read it again.
And I just said that too.
Then it's on the page.
All right, so you ready? So Clint Barton was enjoying an afternoon with his family. His daughter Leela was learning how to use the bow and arrow, just like her dad. Behind them, his wife and sons were getting ready for a picnic. Leela pointed her toes, and when she was ready, let go of the arrow. Bullseye!
Who died?
Stop putting that on your wrist. Good job, Hawkeye, Clint said proudly. Go get your arrow. Clint looked away for a moment. When he turned around, Leela was no longer there, nor was the rest of the family. They had simply disappeared.
Come on, me.
Luna, where you going? You just can't be walking on your brother. You know he be on that.
Open the garbage, Daddy.
Just give it to me right now. Thank you. We're going to put it in the garbage when we're done reading. All right. So thousands of miles away in outer space, Tony Stark. Hey,
Daddy, did the boy, Daddy?
Luna. That's why we be kicking you out, because you be distracting, because you be doing too much movement.
Dada.
Thousands of miles away in outer space, Tony Stark and Nubella were trying to return to Earth in the Guardians of the Galaxy spaceship. The ship had been damaged during the battle with Thanos. Working together, they were able to keep flying for a couple of days. But now their luck had run out. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We gotta see what happened. Next page. This thing on.
Daddy?
That's sit down.
This and then you got the ball.
Let her keep it. Give her the ball back.
No.
Oh, she gonna go get the other ball. Tony Stark working on his mask. Babe, come get your daughter.
I'm on my way.
No.
Come on. Come on.
My ball.
Come on.
I got my ball. Daddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, look at her go. Go crazy, girl. Oh, I got that on camera. I hope we got that on camera.
Say bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
Night-night. Maybe next time.
No, my ball.
No, we reading. You get the ball when we're done. Put the bucket down, too. Thank you. This thing on, Tony joked, as he started recording a message with his Iron Man helmet. Hey, Miss Pot. Pep, if you find this recording, don't post it on social media. Hey, be quiet and listen. It's gonna be a real tearjerker. In a calm voice, he told Pepper Potts that their oxygen would soon run out. Luigi, cut it out. Pep, I know I said no more surprises, but I gotta say, I was really hoping to pull off one last one. He finished the message to her and then fell asleep. A short while later, he woke to a bright light beaming in through the cockpit. A person was floating outside the ship.
That's in it.
Uh-oh, let's see who it was. Next page. All right. So, on Earth, the surviving Avengers were gathered at their headquarters. Suddenly, the building started to shake. Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, Bruce Banner, and James Rhodes raced outside. They saw Captain Marvel guiding a spaceship with her hands. She gently lowered it to the ground. The ship hatch opened. Steve ran over to help his friend Tony down the steps. I lost a kid, Tony confessed. Steve knew that he meant Peter Parker. Uh-oh. So you see her bringing the ship down?
Yeah.
So she saved him. Yeah. But he lost Spider-Man. So we gotta find Spider-Man.
Okay.
So the team headed into Avengers headquarters and straight to the briefing room. Why you kiss the ship? Why you kiss the ship? Video screens flashed images of the missing Avengers. The one who had disappeared when Thanos snapped his finger. That's enough kisses. With the Infinity Gauntlet. Steve wanted to locate Thanos and find a way to reverse the blip. Tony didn't believe that was possible. Next page. Do you think it's possible?
Yes.
Anything is possible, right?
I did put the ball.
So while Tony...
That
look like a basketball?
Yes.
That's not a basketball though, it's Earth. It's the planet Earth.
I want to do my basketball.
After we done. While Tony rested, the Avengers gathered with Nubella and Rocket. That's the Earth. Nubella thought she knew where Thanos might be. Thanos had told Nubella that when his plan was finished, he would go to the garden. With a little help from Rocket, the Avengers were able to trace the energy from the Infinity Gauntlet. They found a planet where Thanos had recently used it. Armed with the coordinates, the Avengers boarded the Guardian ship to confront Thanos. Okay, Rocket said, sounding like a school teacher. Who's here hasn't been to space? Captain America, War Machine, and Black Widow raised their hands. The ship passed through a jump point in space and arrived at the garden planet. I'll jump down for recon, Captain Marvel announced as she exited the ship. Uh-oh. I don't know, but if I had to guess, it kind of looked like... It kind of looked like it could be like Black Panther. I don't know what that's yet, but that's why we gotta read, because we're gonna find out. It kind of looked like a destroyed Black Panther suit. So, Captain Marvel finished her scan of the Guardian planet and found nothing. No satellites, she told them over the ship speakers. Yep. No ships, no armies, no ground defense of any kind. It's just him. And that's enough, Nubella said seriously. On the planet below, Thanos was tending to his garden. He had hung his armor on a post, making a giant scarecrow. Thanos gathered some fruit and slowly walked to his small hut. So this is Thanos' suit. Say Thanos' suit. Yep, that's his suit. Next page. The Avengers took Thanos by surprise. Hey, I ain't see this because I ain't even know Thanos, they call him lacking like this. But apparently this probably in the movie. They call Thanos lacking. Luigi, what you got there on the floor that you playing with? So they call Thanos lacking. The Avengers took Thanos by surprise. Captain Marvel, War Machine, and Hulk held the villain in a tight grip while Rocket examined the Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Stones were missed. Thanos admitted he had destroyed the stones so he wouldn't be tempted to use the gauntlet again. That meant that there was no way to bring everyone back. That's them catching Thanos. In a fit of rage, Thor brought his axe, Stormbeaker, down on Thanos. Hey, pay attention to the book. So 5 years had passed since Thanos snapped his fingers. The Avengers were trying to move on. Natasha was debriefing the team using hologram technology. Carol, are we seeing you here next month? Natasha asked Captain Marvel. Not likely, Carol replied. I'm covering a lot of territory. The things that are happening on Earth are happening everywhere, on thousands of planets. Move your hands from your ears. Now. Well, this channel's always active, Natasha said. Next page.
And I know the page.
All the holograms disappeared.
I know the page.
Huh?
No, the basketball. Up there.
Alright, we ain't worried about basketball right now. Right now we worry about reading, okay? So pay attention to the book. Got it? Give me a high five, you understand. That's what I'm talking about. All the holograms disappeared, except for War Machine. He was keeping track of Clint Barton, who had gone underground since the blip. Rodney promised to tell Natasha when he found out where Clint was going next. Leave it alone. Steve Rogers walked into the briefing room. Natasha and Steve were walking when they noticed someone at the security gate. It was Scott Lang, Ant-Man, but they thought he had disappeared in the bleep. Scott explained that he had been trapped in the quantum realm for 5 years, but it felt like 5 hours to him. Time works differently in the quantum realm. Scott told them, hey, the only problem is right now we don't have a way to navigate it. But what if we did? Are you talking about a time machine, Steve asked. I know it's crazy, Scott admitted. I get emails from a raccoon, Natasha said. Nothing sounds crazy anymore. That's the Hulk. With the beginning of a plan, Steve, Natasha, and Scott went to Tony first. They started to see if he would come back to the team and help plan what Scott called a time heist. Tony refused. Hey, Luigi. Need you to listen, okay? He and Pepper were married now. They had a little girl named Morgan. Tony didn't want to risk losing what he had. I couldn't have seen Avengers Endgame. So they met with Bruce Banner, who was now the Hulk. But with Banner's mind, they asked Bruce what he thought about their plan. The whole time travel do-over. Bruce wondered, unsure. Guys, it's outside my areas of expertise. But he couldn't say no to his friends. Okay, here we go. We on this page. We gotta read this one first to find out what that one's about. Here we go, Bruce said. Time travel test number 1. Scott Lang, wearing the Ant-Man suit, jumped into the quantum tunnel. When he came out, he was traveling. When he came out, he was 12 years old. Ant-Man jumped in again and reappeared as an old man. He went back into the quantum tunnel and emerged as the baby. Finally, he returned at just the right age. Time travel, Bruce shouted with glee. Steve. Now we on this page so you can find out what that is, okay? Steve wasn't sure if their plan was going to work. We gotta read, but I think it's Captain America's shield. But we gotta see, okay?
Okay.
He took a walk outside Avenger headquarters. Tony pulled up and told Steve that he had solved the problem with time travel. Then he gave Steve his shield. Yep, that's his shield. Will you keep that a little quiet, Tony T? Pointing at the shield. Didn't bring one for the whole team. With Rocket help, we gotta find out. We gotta read this page to find out what's on that page first. Remember that. We gotta read first. With Rocket help, Tony constructed a lone quantum platform. The plan was simple: split into teams. That's the team. Yep, split into teams. Travel back in time to retrieve the 6 Infinity Stones and return them to the present. Then they could snap their fingers and bring everyone back. You know your team, Captain America said to the Avengers. You know your mission. Get the stones, no mistakes, no do-overs. Wow. Cap looked at his teammates. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives, and we're gonna win. Whatever it takes, good luck. Come on. Rocket looked at Ant-Man and commented, he's pretty good at that. Hulk flipped the switches, and soon the Avengers were traveling back into time. Uh-oh. They going back in time.
What was that?
That's they cool suits. So Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Ant-Man arrived in New York City in the year 2012. They needed to get the Space Stone and the Mind Stone, both of which would be at a Stark Tower. Captain America, Iron Man, and Ant-Man would go after those. Hulk would... Luigi, listen. Hulk would get the Time Stone, which was located at Doctor Strange's Scantron. At Stark Tower, everything was going according to plan until Tony lost the Space Stone. Captain America had the Mind Stone, but then he ran into himself. Uh-oh. It was Steve Rogers from 2012. The two fought. Stop. The two fought. Bro, pay attention and stop picking stuff off the floor. You hear me? The two fought, and Captain America managed to defeat his past self. He met Iron Man and Ant-Man outside. They needed a new plan to get the Space Stone. Captain America and Iron Man had a plan to find the Space Stone at S.H.I.E.L.D. in 1970. It was risky. If that plan didn't work, they would be stuck in the past. But they knew they had to try. Meanwhile, yep, that's the Hulk. Hulk arrived at the Sectorum, but Doctor Strange wasn't there. He wouldn't become a master of the mystic arts for another couple of years. Hulk explained to the Ancient One why he needed the Time Stone. The Ancient...
I don't know what
What?
Nothing.
Alright, just listen. The Ancient One agreed to give him the stone. Huh? It's not the end of the story.
What the heck?
Yeah, what the heck? Be quiet and listen. One agreed to give him the stone, but only if Hulk promised to bring it back to the exact moment he borrowed it. Meanwhile, Thor and Rocket had arrived in Asgard in the year 2013. Rocket had no trouble getting the Reality Stone, but then Thor ran into his mother. He had missed her so much after she died. The two heroes were just about to return to the present when Thor extended his hand.
Died.
A moment later, his helmet appeared. Thor was happy to be reunited with his weapon. Luigi, sit up and turn the page.
Okay.
In the year 2014,
What was that?
I don't know who that is, so we got to read to find out. But that might be that Nubulla person. So in the year 2014, War Machine and Nubulla were on Morag. They watched as Black Widow and Hawkeye left for Vormir in the Guardian ship. War Machine and Nubulla were after an object called the Orb, which contained the Power Stone. Nubulla didn't know it, but she shared a cybernetic link with Nubulla from 2014. That Nubulla still hated her sister, Gamora, and would do anything to help her father, Thanos. That's crazy. So with Ebony Maw's help, Thanos of 2014 was able to search present-day Nubulla's memory for the Infinity Stone. He watched one hologram of the future Thanos confronting the Avengers and another of the Avengers planning their time heist. It's getting interesting. Thanos saw that he would collect the Infinity Stones in the future and succeeded in wiping out half the universe. Now, he also knew that the Avengers would travel through time to get the stones and undo his work. Thanos came up with a new plan. He boarded the Sanctuary 2 and traveled to Morag to kidnap present-day Nubulla. Uh-oh. You over there being dramatic?
Yes.
I know.
I can be dramatic.
Yeah, you being dramatic.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the planet Vormir, Black Widow and Hawkeye climbed the mountain in search of the Soul Stone.
Daddy.
That's a ship.
Oh, that's two.
Yep. When they reached the top, they found an eerie floating figure. What you seek lies in front of you, the figure said solemnly, as does what you fear. Black Widow and Hawkeye looked over the cliff's edge. The Soul Stone was below them. The figure warned them. You gotta cover your mouth, bro. In order to take the stone, you must lose that which you love. An everlasting exchange. A soul for a soul. It's not the end. Oh, yeah. Turn the page. Both Hawkeye and Black Widow knew what had to be done. Whatever it takes, Black Widow said, echoing Captain America's words. Hawkeye looked over the edge of the tower. Whatever it takes, he repeated. Both Avengers were willing to sacrifice themselves to help bring back countless lives. But in the end, it was Black Widow who gave her life for trillions. So she had to get sacrificed so she could save the world. Yep. The Avengers had done it. They had successfully collected the 6 Infinity Stones. When they returned to the present, Captain America looked around. He saw that everyone had made it back. Everyone except Black Widow. Captain America lowered his head as Hulk collapsed to his knees. She sacrificed her life for that stone, Clint said quietly. She bet her life on it. We have to make it worth it, Bruce insisted. We have to. Steve rose to his feet. We will, he promised. Luigi, next page. Tony and Rocket went to work in the lab. Mechanical arms carefully placed the 6 Infinity Stones into a specifically made gauntlet. It surged with energy. All right, Rocket declared. The gloves ready. Question is, who's going to snap their freaking fingers? Hulk stepped up. It's going to be me, he stated. Excuse me. You saw what those stones did to Thanos. They almost killed him. None of you could survive. Hulk slowly put his hands into the gauntlet and said, everybody, come home. Then the Infinity Stone began to glow. Hulk grunted in pain as the energy pulsed through his body. He screamed.
Good.
Bruce, are you okay? Captain America shouted. Energy flowed through Hulk's right arm, burning his skin. He gritted his teeth and said, I'm okay.
Okay.
Next page.
Bye.
Nobody knew quite what would happen. Iron Man activated shields in the lab in case something went wrong. The other Avengers were wearing their gear, ready for anything. Hulk screamed in pain. With great effort, he raised his right hand and snapped his finger. The universe went blank. There was one Avenger who wasn't in the lab with the others because she wasn't really an Avenger. The Nubuela who returned to the present was really the Nubuela for 2014. She snuck into the hangar and activated the quantum tunnel platform. A moment later, the Sanctuary 2 from 2014 arrived. Thanos was aboard the massive ship with Gamora from 2014 and the present-day Nubuela. The ship hovered above Avengers headquarters and unleashed a barrage of missiles, destroying it with the Avengers still inside. What's the matter?
My hair.
Your hair?
Yeah.
Your hair hurt a little bit? It's
Yeah.
still tight?
Yes.
Feel better?
Yes.
Alright. Good. Next page. At first,
Mommy, Dad.
so that is, I don't know his name, but we just gonna go with the Black Iron Man. At first, no one knew what hit them.
Oh, Dad.
Rocket, Rodney, and Hulk were trapped under
Oh, Dad.
I just told you. Trapped underground beneath tons of rubble. Hulk used his incredible strength to uncover them while they waited for Ant-Man to get them out. Meanwhile, Hawkeye found himself in an underground tunnel. The gauntlet was right beside him. He picked it up and ran. Captain America looked around, surveying the damage. What happened? What happened? You mess with time, it tends to mess back, Iron Man said. They crawled out of the rubble and found Thor and Thanos. Together, the three heroes barely walked towards their foe. Not yet. Thanos told them how he would take the new gauntlet and snap his fingers again. This time, he would destroy all life in the universe and create a new universe of beings. Next page. Oh! You see this?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they finna get it. Look, y'all see that? That mean they fighting. Oh, you want me to show them?
Yes. What was that?
That's Thanos and that's Iron Man.
Oh,
So Iron Man knew they had to keep the gauntlet away from Thanos. The best way to do that was to attack him. He unleashed the full might of his Iron Man armor on the villain. Thor subcharged the armor with lightning blast, but Thanos tossed Iron Man aside like a dog. Thor swung at Thanos with the Stormbreaker, but the villain blocked it. Then Thor's hammer soared through the air, but it didn't go to Thanos' hand. Instead, it travels to Captain America. He was worthy. Wait. Let me read that again. Thor swung at Thanos with Stormbreaker, but the villain blocked it. Then Thor's hammer soared through the air, but it didn't go to Thor's hand. Instead, it traveled to Captain America. He was worthy. Huh? You say what? I don't know what you said. You talking about your hair?
Yeah,
Let me see. Sit up. What about your hair? You feel it right there?
Yes.
What you want me to do? Kiss it or something?
Yes.
Mwah. Feel better? All right. So we almost done, okay? I knew it.